Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels and short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Monday.
Best day of the week. Welcome back, Jamie Lane.
Excited to be
Good
here.
to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you, B. Where are you located today? Looks like you're in a fun new location.
Yeah, I'm currently in Mexico City. We were here just for a quick weekend trip. It was my boyfriend's birthday, so just quick little long weekend. And I want to give a little shout out to our host, Lakshmi. They have these incredibly beautiful renovated apartments. I think they have this whole building, and like I would live in the unit that I'm in here, like without question. And then they have like a bar and a cafe and a bookstore on the first floor. It's just it's like incredibly well decorated. Like could not say enough good things. So
I'll have to have you send me the link so I can book for my potential winter trip.
Yes,
Me
definitely.
and the boys are like, all right, do we get out of Denver? It's a little cold. We should go to Mexico.
yes, definitely.
I love it. Jamie, how's Jamie's lane change going? It sounds like you were in New York last week talking to some big hedge funds and all that good stuff. So catch us up in your world, Mr. Chief Economist.
Yeah, and the big thing this weekend was just playing with the kids. I had the biggest parent fail this weekend.
Do tell.
Oh, no. Yes, please.
So took my son to his basketball game. It was my first time sort of going to the game. Like we had missed the past 2 weeks.
What game?
What
game?
Like his basketball game.
Oh, his basketball game. Okay.
Yeah. So put his jersey on. It's reversible. Like didn't know what to put on, and then take some photos. Like does the game. They win big and get home. Show my wife and like he's playing for the wrong team. Like what are you talking about? Like. He's on the black team. All the white team kids are his, like, that's his team. Like, he played for the wrong team.
What?
Okay, well, also, in your defense, like, the coach didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Well, like, our normal coach wasn't there. It was like one of the parents stepping in.
The kids didn't say anything? Like, none of the kids on his team were like, hey, why are you over there?
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
Oh, wow. That's epic. That's such a great fail though. Like,
yeah.
What?
And they won 40-10, and like he was one of the better players, and his team really could have used him. So I felt terrible. Yeah.
It really shows you who the better of the mix are when one key player leaves. Wow, that's epic. I bet that felt good though. As a dad, you're like, see, my son's that good. If he's not on his team, the other team wins. So what up?
Well, yeah, Andy was playing against him though. Man, it was like double bad. Yeah.
Salt on the wound.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Will,
epic.
how was your weekend?
It was so lovely. Thank you for asking. I read a great book over the weekend, which is pretty rare for me. I'm not much of a reader, but I'm getting into it. And as I think I said on the show last week, announcements to be announced later on why I'm reading so much, but also got to watch my favorite team get P2 in the 24-hour at Daytona. So it was an epic weekend of racing while I'm waiting for F1 to return. But yeah, it's a pretty chill weekend. I'm enjoying the slowness, lack of travel, lack of conferences. It's just great to be home.
Yeah, I'm like really looking forward to some of that in the next month. Like
100%. It's totally worth it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be pretty stern. I'm getting a little stir crazy just in the sense of It's really cold. So 9-degree weather, not my favorite to be outside in, especially when I'm running and doing my mandatory fun runs. But, it's helping. It's helping. It's still sunny. It's still sunny. So it's, as I tell myself, but yeah, it's a good weekend. Great weekend. I'm excited to be back. And this week I've blocked off my calendar for most of the first half of the week to do like actual focused deep work, because we're building a lot of stuff for some announcements and all this other stuff. So anyways, not to ramble on. It's nice to get stuff done and to be home for sure.
Nice. Well, let's jump into our first topic today.
All right. First one. It's going to be a quick one. And I promise I won't go off on a Brandy rant. But the first one is, are Hopper's IPO plans imminent? And I think we all have some opinions due to the fact that we've talked about Hopper quite a few times on the show. You guys know where I stand. I did publicly apologize for how harsh I was at them in the earlier half of early 2020s and 2022 era. But what do you guys think? I have some thoughts, but Jamie didn't share his behind the scenes before we went live, so maybe it's probably best we just have him go.
Let's hear what the chief economist has to say.
No, I think they said it of like, for them to go public, they've got to be profitable. Yeah. And they're clearly not profitable yet. So all this rumors about imminent IPO or IPO and sometime in the near future, like, let's wait for some announcements around profitability, and then I think we can sort of start talking about profits, and where the market is today, and you look at sort of travel companies that have gone public that aren't profitable and how they've just been really hurt in the sort of public market space. Like, there's no reason. And maybe there's some behind the scenes reason, but there's no like obvious reason to go public if you're not profitable yet.
Yeah. And I think that's it's not like there isn't a well to go back to. It feels like they've skipped over a couple of steps. And I don't know, the valuation to me, like 5 to 10 billion, seems a little crazy. But again, there could be some behind the scenes things that we don't know. But this just, I also kind of likened this to when there was like the rumors about Uber buying Expedia. Like, these are just like little whispers that are out in the world that people, I mean, like us, are latching onto to like see if there's any real meat there. So I think it's probably just speculation at this point.
100%. And I think the article goes into their over-reliance on fintech products, obviously like powering Capital One travel and other things like that due to Capital One's investment into Hopper. But the key points that they're like talking about, like the big differentiators with Hopper, is that their young audience. I don't think their young audience really is caring much about the product. And two, Hopper has basically no say or pull in the industry with their inventory. Expedia is giving them their inventory for hotels. Their airline inventory, sure, like maybe like what got them started, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's enough to really differentiate them with the current market of Expedia and Booking and Vrbo and all these other companies that you look at. Plus, they're not a Kleenex. So like, they go public, they're probably going to tank. Like, it's slowly people are going to be like, who is Hopper? What is this thing? It just doesn't feel like a public market type company. It feels more like a private equity buy. I think that's like the one way that the company can make its money back. The investors can earn some kind of return. And there we go. Like, it's really not, it's not going to get the hype like Airbnb or any of these other companies did when going public.
So we'll just have to stay tuned and see what happens.
I don't know, just some thoughts. But if all comes back to Jamie's point, profitability is the number one thing that they need to worry about before anything else. The big news over the weekend, though, I'm pretty sure it was over the weekend, ChatGPT / OpenAI announces their operator, an AI agent that performs tasks autonomously. So some thoughts, some questions and other things to go into. I'm excited by the potential. I don't know if it's fully there, but I'm going to open up the floor. I'm going to say, since Jamie went first, let's go Brandy.
Yeah, I I don't know if this speaks to like some of my like paranoia, but I immediately was like, how is this going to be bad? um, so like, I think we kind of, before the show, like fraud is obviously going to be like a huge problem with this. But aside from the doomsday scenario, I think it's one of these products that right now is just going to be really interesting. And to watch it develop. Like it's not quite there yet. We're in like the nascent baby stages of how this is going to really impact travel. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting. And for like the consumer booking your restaurant, booking your tickets, like making that side really easy, I think is really exciting. And then on the operator side, I think this is out getting into like, once it maybe gets to the next step, doing like capacity-based housekeeping and maintenance scheduling, like really kind of freeing up the back end of things. It could also be really interesting.
Yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad that I didn't make my 2025 prediction that it was going to be the year of agentic AI, because I think that's now like the hype word over the last week. But maybe just start with, because I was as we said at the beginning, I was in New York last week meeting with a bunch of sort of hedge funds, investors, and Booking.com, Airbnb, Expedia, and there on Wednesday, and they're like, what are your thoughts on OpenAI's impending release? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So dig a little bit of digging. And so on Tuesday, January 25th, it emerged that OpenAI was about to release its AI agent tool. And on that release, like Booking.com stock dropped 5%. And that's like $8 billion. That's all of Hopper erased like overnight.
That's honestly a shock. It's when you think 5%, it doesn't sound a lot. And then you put the dollar amount and you're like, oh, geez.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
Yeah. So it was all around like that there's fears that AI agents would be able to fully disintermediate OTAs. Like, so that so we're talking about an agent, like it can go around on the web for you, click around, book your travel. Like if it's going to do that, like it's probably going to do it direct, and it probably doesn't need the OTAs. So then on Thursday, OpenAI formally announced Operator, like where it can like browse and book. But with that announcement, they announced that they're partnering with Booking.com, OpenTable, Priceline, TripAdvisor. So it's like, oh, like they're going to follow sort of the norms of like how people book. And then subsequently Booking.com stock was up 4.5%. And that the fears of disintermediation were probably overhyped. So we went from like peak fear on Tuesday to like, okay, like they're going to play like and with everyone, and that it probably isn't going to be as bad as maybe people were thinking. But I think there is a lot of like concern around like what AI and these operator tools might actually do for the OTAs.
Okay, well, I want to ask like questions around this, because in my head and my notes before like sitting down with you guys, I did see that your point on the relationship with the OTAs is going to change, right? Because they're not going to be able to collect as much information if an AI agent is doing it. So it's not going to be my email. It's going to be whatever.
No, it is like you're going to log on. Like, so I was playing around with it a lot over the weekend. Like you're actually providing OpenAI like all your credentials, like your OpenTable credentials, your Booking.com credentials, your Priceline credentials, like, and like you're so essentially telling it your preference of like, all right, here's my login, my password.
Will it be like that forever? Like, let's say a new person, they're 19, the first time booking a hotel, they got their credit card, they're ready to go, and they're like, I don't want to create all these accounts. Just go book me something that's blah blah blah, like in this range, and whatever.
I think that's the biggest like worry, and I think it's still a big worry today. It's like if an AI agent is just given a task around booking a hotel or booking a short-term rental, like you would think, like being a smart AI agent, that it's going to go out and find the best price. It's going to go out and find the best benefits for you. And like, all right, it's a little bit cheaper. I'm going to get free Wi-Fi. I'm going to get all these things if I go to direct. Like, I should, as a smart AI agent, I should book direct, and I shouldn't go through Booking.com, Expedia, any of the others. That it can check all the prices like essentially instantly.
Yeah, I think as an operator, I think that's fantastic. I mean, I know that I understand that the OTAs are probably, this is like a threat, but this is, I don't know, this is how business evolves. Something that's coming out that's getting, meeting the demand in a more efficient way. And I would love to not pay 25% commission to an OTA and just have the best price on, put real money into a nice, elegant, direct site that is going to, work well and get people the best pricing. So I think that this just means that the OTAs have to kind of reconsider their value prop, and like, how are you actually adding more value than just aggregating all of these listings in one place to make it, to continue, meriting their existence. But I think that's also a really long ways away from where we are right now.
Yeah, it's really going to push the Airbnb hosts that don't have a book direct site, that don't have anything outside of Airbnb, to create something a little bit more independent outside of that for the sake of price and commission. But I'm also curious, like, so if OpenAI is partnering with Booking.com on this, and they're like, hey, we're going to announce this partnership, how is that going to change the OTA's business if basically it just enhances the speed of when people can book? They can drop their commission. They're going to push hotels or inventory holders to drop their rates, so that way they are more incentivized to be booked and all this other stuff. And then the operators are going to have to come back and say, basically, we can't go below this point because your guys' commission is so much that we're now going to lose money every time we get a booking from you guys, and eventually just turn it off. Or the OTA is going to have to drop significant commission to basically become a credit card processing rather than anything else. Like, that would be their only way of maybe surviving, is by taking a 3.5% processing fee or whatever their fee is, rather than like a booking OTA commission that we've seen of 25+%. I don't know. That's just my thinking out loud. I didn't do as much research. I'm not going to play with operator yet until I'm like actually able to, because I honestly don't have the bandwidth to sit down and play with ChatGPT more than I already do. But I don't know. That's just my kind of thinking out loud and verbal processing.
I like the analogy with a credit card processing fee. I think but I would also say that right now their partnerships with these OTAs, it's like that's where they're going to be pulling the data from, instead of like the internet at large, is what I'm assuming. I could be wrong, but like that seems like that's the first step, is like, okay, I'm going to book all of your lodging on Booking.com, and I'm just searching Booking.com for those best rates and offers.
Yeah.
Well, and the big question is, like, where are people going to start their search for travel? Like right now it's Google and Booking.com, Expedia. Everyone plays Google billions of dollars to make sure that they show up top of the search and that the travel actually gets booked through those OTAs. And like and as a lodging operator, it's really hard to compete for that traffic, and just because and they're willing to pay so much. So if that traffic moves to OpenAI, of like, all right, I'm going to have OpenAI sort of and start there to search to book my travel, then Booking.com wants to make sure that they can sort of pay OpenAI to make sure that that traffic is coming through to them. So that's where I feel like we're probably not going to change much. And in terms of maybe hotel traffic, like it's still going to go through the OTAs. And then on Airbnb, like vast majority of hosts don't have a direct booking site. So like maybe this ends up being a really good thing for Airbnb, and the sort of algorithm, like if they're actually going through and like using the search, clicking around, like it makes being on that front page probably so much more important, like of sort of understanding the Airbnb SEO, because like the AI agent's not going to probably click through like 2 or 3 pages. It's going to like, here's my criteria. I need 4 bedrooms near this location. Like, show me what's best. And the one that comes up top of the search is probably the one that's going to get booked. And like, they're not going to do a whole lot of sort of going deep into the list.
100%. And I want to make 2 points and maybe a third, but the one, I think, like when we saw ChatGPT become really popular in the last couple of years, we saw all these AI trip planning companies pop up, right? They're like, oh, we're going to be the perfect travel guide, and completely like destroyed. I think they're going to be crushed. Goodbye. See you later. OpenAI is going to destroy you. But then two, Brandy, to your point earlier on, I'm excited. Like this is a great, because I know like this consumer facing product with the X amount of users that OpenAI has is really going to elevate the process. So it's going to be very consumer facing for booking dinner, booking travel, etc., doing like these tasks. But eventually what I'm really excited about is for it to trickle its way down into the actual operator, boots on the ground type situation. And like my kind of brain goes down the rabbit hole of Well and Good and Fido. So like, all right, these operators, these people that are boots on the ground that are doing services that can't be done by AI agents, it can help automate their routes and do other things like that, and kind of do some autonomous tasks behind the scenes within their technology platforms. But right now, like this is where I think, because based on my prediction that we stated earlier in the year, is I think boots on the ground infrastructure, actual operational things in cities and destinations is going to be the key, and AI tools like this is going to be able to benefit from it. So shout out to our friends and partners at Fido. And also, while we're talking about Fido, just a little commercial ad. This episode is brought to you by Fido. So say goodbye to headaches with Fido's reliable service for vacation rentals. Get 1 month free of their bin to curb service. And also, I actually got to experience Fido for the first time because I can barely remember my trash days at my house. So thinking about the 25, 40, 50, 100 homes that other people have, can't imagine. And it was also my first taste of what probably is going to be like when I have a 16-year-old to go take out the trash instead of me doing it. So shout out to Fido for making it easier and actually letting me live my life without having to remember to take out the garbage. But that's my one little segue there. We're back to the episode for those who are listening. But the other like comment that I had, which I'm kind of having a brain fart on, is Jamie, go ahead. I'm going to have to rethink about that one. I got distracted.
Yeah. And the other sort of existential risks maybe for the OTAs and getting into some of the last ones is like we keep sort of hearing about like sponsored listings for Airbnb. We know Booking.com, Expedia, that's a really big part of the way they monetize. Like Brandy, I assume that's why some of the OTAs fees can get so high, is because they're sort of sponsoring the listings and like pushing them higher.
Bookings is because of the different tiers. So there's like preferred plus, and then you get into like sponsored ads, native ads. I mean, there's many ways you can spend your money.
Yeah. So like if the agent's booking, like sponsored listings more than likely are going to be harder to monetize, and like they potentially lose this whole sort of source of their revenue where it's like just the sort of normal commission, and you could really sort of pull back there and like and you sort of go back to like if all the OTAs get commoditized of like they're just a spot where rates are being brought up, and like every OTA is essentially the same. Like you as a hotel, you as a short-term rental, you push your rates to a whole bunch of sites. They're essentially the same price. Like then it's who's going to lower their commission and sort of drive the incremental bookings. So like I see why there's a lot of worry around sort of OTA business models and going forward.
Yeah. I mean, I even think without AI, this or AI operator, like you're kind of heading in that direction as well. I mean, if you're a larger operator, like your product is on all of those OTAs, you're probably around the same price. I mean, it's kind of maybe depending on the commissions. So your direct site should always have your best price. So as people get more sophisticated with their distribution technology, they're using a PMS or a channel manager or whatever. I think that was kind of gradually happening anyways, and that this will just kind of really, I mean, not just push it forward, but like shoot out of a cannon forward, that kind of commoditization across the OTAs.
100%. Well, also, like, we saw a big mad rush during COVID, and now we see a big mad rush. Like, if you guys go on LinkedIn, you probably see everybody and their mother posting some horribly like AI generated image with a bunch of AI text for their LinkedIn posts. Like, shout out to all the people in the industry who never posted on LinkedIn until all this came out. I see you. I'm watching my feed as all these horrible images have misspelled words and sentences that don't make any sense. We see it. But as you can see, like, there's a flood of this now, right? Like, the one thing that I think is still going to run true is that quality of service is going to make this much more of a difference because of how much of this AI stuff is going to flood consumers. The one thing, like, AI can still book you the trip. It can go off the criteria. It's probably to go off all the things that you guys have said. But the one thing is going to really determine is the quality. Because when the person gets there and they don't know exactly like what their AI agent booked, but outside of the itinerary it gives them, if it is not executed perfectly on site, you are going to be screwed. None of this is going to matter for you. Like, you can do as much as you want to rank high on these AI searches and be this and be that, but the quality is going to be the one differentiator. That's like the one thing you have to focus on now in order to stand out. All of this is just to be a part of the pack, but to stand out from the pack, you have to have a good quality and good service. It's going to come down to that. So
yeah, I actually really agree with that, because I think about where I think this would be the most beneficial first is flights, because that is kind of like, unless you're booking, I mean, I don't really know. Like that is, you kind of say, I any airline except for Frontier or whatever it is, like, that's fine. But when you comes to here, or I don't know, Spirit, but but when it comes to lodging, I think that is very different, because everybody has such specific taste as to like what is important, and like what is, budget for some person might be luxury, or not luxury, but like a splurge for somebody else, upscale. And then so maybe like the step before that, it will be like the aggregator of like, hey, find me 10 listings that meet this criteria, and then you would go and make that final booking. Or you could say, okay, actually I choose this listing, go book it for me. But I think your personal preference, in order for it to learn your individual taste, that seems like a very big ask at this point.
Yeah. It's I just wanted to say that too, because I think I know we have a lot of operators that listen, a lot of people that are founders, CEOs, executives in the space and control a brand in some shape or form that has, heads and beds, or whatever the terminology we want to count it as. And this is really going to be the big differentiator is quality and service. Like, right, like, this can do all the stuff, but when you get there and it's not as expected because the quality is bad and there's a grumpy front desk agent or lack of communication from the host, etc., it's gonna make all the difference. So go ahead, Jamie. I know you got some comments.
Yeah, and what knowledge bombs. Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
And one thing I go back to too is, and like, there's been a lot of research around this, around how the anticipation of an experience and like actually planning it brings more happiness than sometimes even the experience itself.
Yeah.
So like, do people, and maybe why all these trip planning like AI apps haven't really take off, do people want this part of the experience to be disintermediated? Do they want AI to like plan and book their entire trip? Or like, I see it like it's making some of the hardest aspects of like knowing what to do, how to book it, like where to do it through, like bring you all the options, making that so much easier. And like, in the end, like, it's making travel more accessible, and hopefully will be increasing the overall pie that we're all sort of operating in the travel and tourism industry. So like, all this news, I see sort of net benefit for the industry as whole. Like, and maybe there's going to be some winners, some losers, like, and do worry, like, when we're talking about OpenAI's agents, like, but like, stock market's down based on China's DeepSeek, like, and that it can come in and do it all better and do it a whole lot cheaper. And like, maybe they're the ones that are actually going to win this whole sort of booking thing. And like, they'll go to what they got. Like,
well, I think that's also, An interesting, like the thing about this time period that we're in is that you can make these predictions or have some sort of educated guess, and then something just comes like totally out of left field, and you're like, okay, like never mind. I mean, 2 years ago we were not mentioning. We like now it's like, can you go 30 minutes without saying the AI? And 2 years ago that wasn't even like part of the conversation at all. It wasn't even on the horizon, at least in the travel space. So it will be really interesting to see, like, I don't know, next month is something crazy going to happen in this space, and also how quickly will people adapt to it, because that's always kind of a challenge in our industry.
Well, that was the thing I was thinking is, like, right now, Jamie, to your point, do people want to hand off planning their trip, booking their trip to an AI agent? I don't think so. I think right now, at the current stage 1 that we're in, it's just great to get an aggregation of the best based on your criteria, blah, 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 all the things, right? Like, it's been a huge benefit for search. But in the future, as this gets normalized, and this accelerating fast, like I made a comment on the show, I don't know, end of last year, beginning of this year, like maybe the first episode in, not thinking AI was going to be this huge thing. And it's accelerated so much that in 5 years, maybe the thought of planning a trip is going to be so tedious that obviously it's not going to be normal that we're used to planning it. And it's going to get so advanced that we're going to have, someone or an AI agent that actually knows exactly what our preferences are, that knows exactly how we like things, knows how to communicate it to the property, excuse me, and all this other stuff. But right now, stage 1, no, I think this is like a great tool for me and my friends to get together and be like, hey, we want to do a mountain trip, or we want to do a Mexico trip. Let's, plan it on a ChatGPT thing. And then once we get to the best one, we have it book it for us. And who knows? Like I've heard some comments that people are saying, it's not worth the $200 right now on the big like AI plan that OpenAI has put this under and like they don't trust it to do this task by itself at the moment. So like, it's still very early, but it's accelerating so fast. So who knows how normalized this will be. But yeah, the trip planners, like all these AI companies that came out early, I have a feeling like they're the ones that are going to have to figure out how to shift. If not, they're going to crumble, because this is going to become the number one consumer product probably in the US, I would say, in 2025. Not this operator, but like OpenAI itself, ChatGPT.
Well, you'll have to add that to your predictions for 2025.
I'll add it for 2026 because I'll probably be wrong. I'm probably early, ahead of my time. Paul Manzi asks, who does the traveler blame for a bad experience, AI or the property manager?
Oh, it'll definitely be the property manager. It's definitely even if it's, that's how it always, if you have a terrible travel experience to get to your hotel or your short-term rental, and then you find one minor thing wrong, it's always going to be like the last person or thing you're interfacing with is going to get the brunt of your anger.
Yeah. The Karens and the Brians of the world. Brians, and for all the people listening, are the male version of Karen that I call. So they're the Karens and Brians of the world can't yell at AI and get the satisfaction that they normally get. So they're going to pick a human to chew out. So I think it's always going to be there. Jamie, look like you had a thought? Comment?
No. Ready to wrap up. I think
right.
we beat this dead AI horse.
Yeah. And now we'll not mention AI on the show for at least 1 month. I'm just kidding.
I literally don't even think that's possible.
No. Michael,
we did avoid it on the prediction show, but we came back pretty quickly.
Yeah, we did. Michael's going to come back next week and probably mention it too. So he's going to have a lot of thoughts that we didn't get to hear on the show, as again, he has been on the road for his regular job. But yes, great episode for the listeners. We would love to know what you think. Tune in your comments. You can also write into the show now with our official email at goodmorning@hospitality.fm. You'll get direct access to the whole crew. You can send stories, thoughts, comments, and all the above. You can also like and subscribe to our newsletter. Go to goodmorninghospitality.com, sign up and get the latest and greatest news in your inbox before everybody else. And without further ado, what do you guys have that you're looking forward to this week? Give me one thing. Jamie Lane, number one. What's the number one thing you're looking forward to this week?
So as we were talking, I realized I've got my 40th birthday coming up in April. and I have not planned what I'm going to do. So I am going
Big party.
I'm
Open
going to
AI
use
operator.
AI operator to plan and come up with a trip. So
Wow.
maybe next month when I come back on, I'll share with you guys what we planned.
You're turning 40.
Amazing.
I'm turning 30. I think this is a time of a decade for you and me. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Brandy, what about you? What do you got going on this week?
I'm having a spa weekend. I'm getting a facial and a massage on Saturday. So very much looking forward to that.
I love that. I was thinking about doing what are those float tanks? Like those floating
The deprivation chamber. Yeah. Really get in tune with yourself and your thoughts.
Yes. I love it. And thank you to Terry Whites and to all of our loyal live listeners who always tune in every Monday. Paul, Terry, and of course, Jeremy Weiss. Great to see you, my friend. Hope all is well. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Good Morning Hospitality. We'll see you all again next week. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform. Check out our GMH Europe crew and our GMH Hotel crew every Tuesday and Wednesday of the week. We'll see you all very soon.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.